Hi everybody and welcome to A Book and a Bounce with Camrose Public Library. I am Nicole, I'm one of the program coordinators here, and usually I will read you guys a couple of books and we'll do a couple of songs, but today I just want to talk. I want to talk a little bit about the importance of reading with your children when they're really little, and rhymes and the power of story with your kids. Stories and songs are powerful tools to promote bonding, and they're also really wonderful tools to help your child figure out what comes next in their day. For example, my youngest, when she was little, every time she would be up for any length of time, when she'd wake up from a long nap or in the morning, I would always sing, "Good morning to you, and how do you do? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you." You guys may recognize that from my other videos. That's how I start out my videos. So anytime she was going to be up, that was our song that we would sing together. Even before she could speak, I was using this song. And I'd only use it when she'd wake up and be up for a period of time. And that became so ingrained in her routine that when she was about 2, I had transitioned her to a toddler bed. And she was up in the middle of the night, about 2, 3 in the morning, playing. So I went into her room to tuck her back into bed, and she looked up at me with her little smile and said, she sang to me, "Good morning, are you?" And when I did not sing that song back to her, that was a cue that it was not time for her to be up. So I tucked her back into bed with no tears because Mama hadn't sung the song. She knew it was still bedtime. So using the same rhyme or song in transition periods throughout your child's day will help them understand what comes next, and it will help ease those transitions, whether it is a song for face washing, like "The sun is peeking out, peek, the sun is peeking out, peek, peeking here and peeking there, and the sun is peeking out, peek." Only use that rhyme at that certain transition period, and your child will associate it with what they're doing in their day, and it will give them confidence. So some tips and tricks for reading with newborns and young infants. So make sure that you slow down and pause in between the sentences of a story. It'll give them a chance to respond, even if it's just a squeak or a grunt. Give them time to respond to what you're saying to them. Just general literacy tips. Be a narrator all day in your life with your child. Talk about chopping carrots and how many cups you need of flour for the rhubarb crisp you are making. Tell a story of your day with your baby all day long. When you are choosing books, try to find the rhythm in books because infants respond to rhythm in songs. So things like, "The more we get together, together," books that you can sing and books that have rhyme to them will really engage your little ones. It's important when choosing books you try to find a balance between brightly colored books with engaging illustrations and books that have actual photographs of things that they see in their daily life. That is how they are going to make the connection between the word that you're using and what they actually see in the real world, which is so important for building vocabulary. A little bit about book safety. Books do not have the same safety regulations as toys. So when you choose books for your baby, have a look. These textured books are wonderful to share with your babies, but little tufts of fur, little pieces of the cardboard can be ripped off and put into little mouths, so you want to be careful about that. Novelty books that have little holes are lovely to play with and read, but they're an entrapment hazard. So you want to watch for how big those holes actually are. Let's see, what else? Little cloth soft books, the little squishy books that sometimes have squeakers inside them. Keep an eye on the seams around the outside of those sewn cloth books. If there are strings coming loose, they could be an entrapment hazard. They could get their little fingers tangled. And also, the little squeaky shaker things are about this big, and if they pop out, they can be popped into a mouth, which is a choking hazard. So yeah, books like that, the novelty books, are super fun to share with your child. but just keep them on a higher shelf until your baby is old enough to know how to use them safely on their own and share them with your babies. When picking books, you want to do a little bit of especially if you're going to buy them, if you're not going to borrow all your books from us here at the library, which I'm sure you're not, you want to do a little bit of a test to make sure that they're good quality. If you can get your finger in between those two pieces of cardboard that sandwiches together, that is going to split, and that book's not going to last very long. Another nice thing about newer board books is that they have self-turning pages. You turn one page and the other one pops up just far enough for a little hand to get in there. Infants do not have the fine motor skills to be able to turn thin paper pages. This enables them to get their whole hand in there to begin with your help, to teach them how books work. Let's see. What else have I got here for you? Embrace repetition. You're going to have to read the same book over and over again. You're going to really start to hate it. But reading the same book over and over with your child as they grow, pretty soon, once they have the vocabulary, they will be able to tell that story back to you in their own words. And that's so important. Sharing the same book over and over again helps teach children how narrative works. So when they're able to tell you the story, when you start asking, what comes next? Then you know that they're really getting it. The most important stories to share, I think, with your kids are stories, your stories of your childhood, stories about the things that you liked to do when you were a kid and how your family worked and how your family now with your children may be the same or different from what your childhood was like. Those stories are really grounding and help kids understand their place in your family. So whatever you do, just read with your kids and talk with your kids. And hopefully we'll see you here in the library again soon. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you again next week. Merrily we roll along. Merrily we roll along. Merrily we roll along. We'll see you again next week. Sweet dreams, everyone. Sweet dreams, everyone. Sweet dreams, everyone. We'll see you again next week.